Welcome back, commanders, to another video, and today we're going to be testing out the brand new Air Force officer that just came out in 12.3, and that officer, guys, is going to be known as Silver Fox. So Silver Fox is the newest defense air officer in the game, and as we know, we haven't had one for a very long time. The original one was Witcher. We also have, obviously, Nagarani. Now, Nagarani is more of a hybrid. She offers a lot of offense with that defense. So she's kind of always been the go-to officer to have on your unit. And then normally you'd have her paired with, for example, you'd have maybe Sky Jockey or Silver Comet if you want an offensive kind of fighter jet. But if you want a more defense, you'd always then go with the Witcher. Now, there is a defense officer, Fleeting Arrow. Obviously, she is exclusive lounge. You know, we are going to include her in our testing today, but at the same time, the Witcher and Nagarani has always been the free-to-play, the majority go-to setup if you want a defensive fighter plane. But as I said, we now do have Silver Fox. So we're going to do some testing today, guys. We're going to test out what is the best combination for defense. I'm assuming it's going to be Silver Fox with Fleeting Arrow, but we're also going to see, without Fleeting Arrow, who is the best. Is it going to be Silver Fox with Witcher? Is it going to be Silver Fox with Nagarani? Let's just see how good this new defense officer is. So for the offensive fighter that we're going to be going against here, we're going to be fighting the same unit every single time, and it is going to have Darkwing, and it's also going to have Sky Jockey on the unit. There is no skill training. It's just those two officers, and we're going to test against the same two officers every time, because as we know, in those bigger battlefields, this is normally, you know, your go-to setup if you want an offensive fighter. That is what you go for. So we're going to be going against the same ones so we get the same sort of results. Now, on our first setup and lineup here, you know what? We're not going to start off with Fleeting Arrow. We are going to start off with the OG, the main average person's thing, and we're going to see how long this fighter lasts. Now, both the fighter I'm fighting and the fighter I have, guys, are currently set up so that we have everything maxed out. The parts are maxed, everything's maxed. Now, what I'm going to change here actually is I'm going to make an HP. So we're going to grab 2 HP of these blueprints just to equip on here, because obviously if you are going in for a tanking one, you don't need to have firepower. That's one thing you definitely don't need. So we've got the HP. Now, one question, guys, maybe someone can let me know down in the comments, why is there a firepower and then 2 HPs? I've never understood that. With any other unit in the game, there's 1 firepower, 1 HP. But for fighters, there's 2 HPs. Never understood it. Maybe someone could let me know. But with that being said, because obviously we are going for the HP side of things with this fighter, as I said, they're both maxed out 38.3 mil, 38.3 mil. Now, we're going to see how long this unit lasts, and then we're going to do it one more time just to see if we can get a more accurate testing, and then we'll take the average of the two, and then what we'll do is we'll then do 2 attacks or defenses, however you like to look at it, with each different one and see just how long each one survives. And then that will kind of give us a sort of understanding on just how good or bad a defensive officer is, how long it will last and stuff like that. Now, obviously, this is a 1v1. It's going to be slightly different in the real world. In the real world, if you're trying to make a defense officer, maybe you're tanking for a bomber or something, you're going to end up being flying into a lot of units, which means you're going to die a lot quicker. But at least now we can kind of get a bit of an understanding on just how long each officer impacts the survivability of your actual fighter plane. So we have obviously gone with the Marty fighter because the Marty fighter has the biggest sort of defense, the highest damage resist, and therefore if you are making a tanking fighter, you're primarily going to try and go for the Marty fighter. So that's why we've chose to use that in this instant. And also, as we've done in testing before, which I believe a video will be coming out shortly, breaking down the actual fighter planes and, you know, how they all work, because we've obviously recently got a hold of this test account, but that is a future video to come very soon. But for now, we're going to be using the Vanguard fighter as our offensive one, and then we're going to use this as our defense one. So, as I said, we're going to go through the two. We're going to kind of see just how, you know, well they managed to survive. So, let's speed this up and see how long it does. And there it is, guys. So it has died. Obviously, we will be able to see the results here in a second. So let's retrain, and we're going to also do this one more time. So very quickly, let's take a look at the battle report. Now, obviously, the battle report might be a little bit hard for me to understand, so I'm going to be going through this with yous. But overall, obviously, we can see that we had a 15.3 million shield and stuff like that. But the actual fight itself lasted for 1 minute and 59 seconds. Now, we are going to keep looking at that same sort of time, see how long it lasts, and then also we'll go through and we'll study the sort of damage suffered, which I think should probably be the same result every time, because if I'm not mistaken, you know, we're using the same unit, and I don't know if it sort of works the same as other things when it comes to, you know, that's its total HP, right? So its damage suffered is how much HP it has. So with that being said, we're going to check the different battle reports each time just to see how long each one of them lasts. So let's retrain and go again. So here we are, guys. We're going to go through with the second attack now just to see if we get the same sort of result. Is it around that 1 minute 59 seconds, how long it's going to last and stuff like that. We'll look at the damage, see if it's the same, and then hopefully that will be a much easier way to tell from the testing. So with that being said, guys, please let me know down in the comments if there's any type of testing you want to see done now that I am able to try and, you know, get to the bottom of a lot of mysteries. With that being said, if you do enjoy these sort of videos, please think about hitting the like button, share the video to your friend, and I'd really appreciate anyone who already hasn't done so, smash that subscribe button. So let's fast forward the fights, guys, and let's see how much longer these fighters will last. So guys, as you can see, that battle lasted so much longer. It lasted for 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and the exact same amount of damage dealt, 83.3k. And as you can see, the healing is the only thing that's that much more different, because basically this is all comes down to the officers and their skills, guys, which is something that is always going to be a lot harder when testing. Now, as we know with Darkwing, he does have a critical strike thing as the 30%. Now, if he does hit it, you're going to die a lot quicker. If he doesn't hit, it's going to take longer. And the longer it takes to kill, the more shields you're going to get off, which means the more shields are going to get sponged. So with that being said, it really is genuinely hard to do these sort of testings. I'm not joking when I say it takes a lot of time to go through and do these testings, because at the same time, there's so many unpredictable things that happen when dealing with these sort of situations. You know, you can't always get the exact same results because it depends on, you know, does that crit go off or not. So what we'll do is we've now basically got a kind of fast attack and we've got a slow attack. And we're now going to switch Witcher for the brand new officer. We're going to do 2 more attacks and see what sort of results we get with this, and then we'll be able to kind of compare the two together. So here we are, guys. We're now going to start the fight. As I said, we're going to be using Silver Fox with Nagarani, and just to see how much of a difference it is from the Witcher. So let's start this battle here and just kind of see how well he does compared. Now, we are going to do 2 fights. So while this first fight is going on, let's quickly take a look at what the difference is between the Witcher and between the new Silver Fox. So the Witcher, which is obviously the OG, she has a total of 1000 shield coefficient, and then she also has maneuverability, which maneuverability here is to ease the control of the airplane. When attacked by the enemy fighter plane, this stat will affect the enemy's firing accuracy. So basically does less damage. So the increases the maneuverability and the stability. Now, the stability is a stat for bombers that count as fighter planes, harass capability. It reduces the impact of enemy fighter planes on the bomber's bombing damage. So stability obviously won't work in this situation because we're on a fighter, but overall it basically means that it's going to have around 40% less damage incoming with the firing accuracy. So when attacked, the troop has a 20% chance to gain a shield coefficient of 1,000. So it's not like you're guaranteed to get 1,000 all the time, but there is a 20% chance that you're going to gain a shield coefficient of the 1,000. Then we have 15% damage resist. We also then have HP of 20%, and then we also have more maneuverability by 20%. So here we also have, when this officer's troop dodges an attack, it increases the damage resist by 2% for 4 seconds and can stack up 10 times. So an extra 20% damage resist. Now, the new Silver Fox, what he has is whenever this officer's fighter plane troop is attacked, it gains a shield of 1,500 for 4 seconds and can be triggered every 8 seconds. So every 8 seconds, you're going to be getting 1,500 coefficient guaranteed. Whereas with the other one, you get 1,000, 20% chance. Now, with here, you also have increases the normal attack boost and the normal attack resilience by 15%. Here we have a HP increase of 30% and damage resist of 10%. We also have intercept of 50%, which is a very high amount of intercept, by the way, guys. Very high, so this is good for skill training. And then the awoken skill here is increases the damage resist of this officer's fighter plane troop by 10%. For every 10% HP that the troop loses, it gains resist and increase by an extra 5% up to 20%. So you're guaranteed to get 10%, and then you can get a further 20% on top. And that I did not expect to see when we came back here. Guys, we just won the fight. Yeah, okay. We're going to retrain, guys, and we're going to do this test again. And we're actually going to watch it this time. I thought that, you know, the battle wouldn't take too long. Well, it would last, you know, a little bit longer than before, but we'd come back to see the fighting still happening. But we've came back to the complete opposite result of what I was expecting. Were you guys expecting this as well? Be honest with me down in the comments. Please, be honest. Was you expected to see that? So, let's jump back and do this test again. And watch it this time. Okay, so we're retrained, guys. I'm actually excited to see this now. What is going to be the result? So, here we are. As you can see, that instant shield coming in. And we should now see that shield pop up every 8 seconds. Now, what is causing... Is it really that shield, that guaranteed shield every 8 seconds that's just causing this new officer to be able to survive so much? But I was not expecting to come back to see that, you know? And it does look to me that that shield that pops up every... It seems like 4 seconds to me. Actually, no, it's 8 seconds because obviously the shield itself lasts for 4 seconds and then it takes 4 seconds to come back. So, dude, that shield is definitely keeping that fighter alive. And honestly, I was not expecting to see this. He is so strong. He is honestly so strong right now. Wow, I'm genuinely impressed, guys. I mean, I didn't expect to see that at all. I did not. You know, I might have to awaken this officer now. I have enough statues to get him. Do you think that I should get it? Let me know down in the comments. Do you think I should get this new officer? I mean... I'm actually so impressed. Like, just 2 defense officers with a little bit of offense absolutely destroys basically the two strongest offense fighters on the game. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So, we're going to do another test, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace Silver Fox with the old Fleeting Arrow to see how that performs as well. And see, does he perform better than Fleeting Arrow with Nagarani? Or do we see the same sort of result with Fleeting Arrow and Nagarani as we do with Silver Fox and Nagarani? So, let's test that out as well. So, guys, this time around, we are going to be doing the Fleeting Arrow with Nagarani. Now, I already know that this officer is very, very strong. But let's quickly take, while waiting for this troop here to retrain, let's quickly take a look at just how good Fleeting Arrow is. and we'll sort of compare her to the brand new officer, which is obviously Silver Fox. Now, we just got over Silver Fox information. This increases the damage resist of this officer's fighter troop by 25% and gains the troop 25% chance to dodge enemy attacks. So already starting off nice and strong. Whenever this officer's fighter plane troop dodges an enemy attack, it increases its damage intensity by 3% for 4 seconds and can stack up to 10 times. So you can get an extra 30% damage resist whenever you dodge. Now, obviously here, you're increasing your dodge chance by 25%. So you're already getting more dodges, and now you're going to guarantee to get even more damage resist. Here we have increases the damage resist of the troop by 12.5% and the damage resist by 12.5%. Normally, these go up to 10%, but this is 12.5%. That's really strong. Here we have increases the intercept resilience of this officer's fighter plane by 65%. That is just crazy amount. And in the awakened skill here is whenever this officer's fighter plane troop dodges an enemy fighter plane troop's attack, it has a 50% chance to deal skill damage to the enemy attacker, damage coefficient of 840. So this effect can be triggered every 4 seconds. She is extremely strong. So with that being said, I already know that this is probably going to win the fight against this officer here, because this officer just doesn't have any protection. It's all offense. But as I mentioned, normally the reason we're using the Darkwing and the Sky Jockey combination for this testing, because that's kind of, especially in those later stages, and even now I'm in gold 3 and this is what we're fighting right now. We're fighting Darkwing and Sky Jockey. That's like the main offensive fighter plane. So we're just trying to find out what this is going to do right now. So let's just do this attack and see how much of a big difference we see here between the two attacks. With that being said, we will also do a test. We'll have the new Silver Fox with the exclusive lounge officer Fleeting Arrow. We'll do that test as well to see what the difference is and just, you know, how much the variety is different between all these 3 different setups. But so far, it actually seems to me, maybe again, this does come down, guys, to the fact that Darkwing does have chance of hitting crits. So again, maybe it's just getting unlucky. But we just done the test a minute ago and it seemed very what's the word I'm trying to think of? It seemed very fair results both times. Like, both results came out very similar. And as you can see here, if we have a look here, 102 for 42, 102 for 42. Very same stats. Whereas here, you know, it is seeming like that Darkwing's actually managing to get a bit of a boost on. And I think that's because there's no shield. I think that 1,500 shield coefficient really makes a difference with that new officer. Obviously, Nagarani has a chance of doing a shield, and that's the shield we're seeing. And then overall, just the pure damage, resilience and stuff coming from Fleeting Arrow is why we're getting this same result. But again, as we said, we kind of knew this was going to happen, but I just wanted to like kind of have a little test out. But I think though, this time around, we ended up losing the same amount of units. I think we lost another set of 42. I might be wrong here, but once that battle report comes in, we'll be able to tell. But again, we got the same sort of results as before. What I want to see now is if we was to remove Nagarani, which for the longest time, guys, has been one of the better options for defense. It's kind of your go-to, even offense. Like, Nagarani has been the staple of all fighter planes for a very long time. But now let's have a look at what these two are going to look like together on a plane. I think it's going to be disgusting. Of course, we will also try these two together as well after this to get that final report in. But it does look like here we actually ended up losing 1 extra plane compared to in this one here. We actually ended up taking a little bit more damage. But as you can tell from here, we had 42.1 mil damage, but we had 33.7 mil shield. Over here, we had a little bit less damage, but we had less shield. I'm assuming, you know, we just ended up killing some of their fighters earlier. But over here, we didn't have a lot of shield. So we definitely took less damage overall, because if you have a look at this one, this is basically, you add these two numbers together, this is how we sort of see the amount of damage. We would have taken 33.7 mil damage, but the shield sponged it for us. Whereas over here, the shield didn't really sponge any because we didn't have much shield. So that damage resist all came from Fleeting Arrow and Nagarani stacked together. But Fleeting Arrow gave us so much extra damage resist that we just didn't lose units, even without the shield. So imagine once we have these two together right now, the shield that we're going to get bonused from this combination is going to just be disgusting, but let's try it out. So guys, here we are. We have got the combination of the lifetime here. We have got Fleeting Arrow with Silver Fox here, and we are basically going to do an attack again and kind of see how strong these two together are. From the testing we've done so far, I honestly see this combination with the guaranteed protection from that shield coming in every 8 seconds is gonna just be crazy high, and the amount of defense coming in from Fleeting Arrow along with the little bit of offense they have together, I think this could go very, very, very well. We're also going to test with Silver Fox and Witcher as well. We're going to see kind of how good they are together. Is it better than Silver Fox and Nagarani? I honestly don't think so. After getting the test results from Silver Fox and Nagarani, which, as surprised as I was, that was a very, very strong combination. So will Silver Fox and Witcher be able to compete with that? I honestly don't think so. But by the way, guys, if you can see right now, the damage that the offensive fighter plane cannot take that shield down. It just isn't enough. It's not enough to take that shield down. So every 8 seconds, you basically have immunity for 4 seconds. Honestly, I'm really impressed with how much protection that these are offering right now. Let's put it this way, guys. If you ever watch gameplay of, you know, the top epic teams, this will not survive flying into 5 or 6, you know, fighter jets, right? So you got to take that into consideration. This is only with one-on-one situation, okay? When it comes down to it, you know, if you're especially playing in epic, or you're not, honestly, any league, but epics where you see the big, you know, the whole battlefield of fighters and stuff, if you're wanting to bomb something, you send in a defense fighter, you then send in bombers behind it, the fighter's gonna die regardless, because there's just so many fighters, right? Your one fighter is not gonna be able to survive all of them other fighters, so you can just about survive to get a one bombing run off and pull back. So we're kind of just testing what one is the longest and the best survivability options. Now, I'm assuming that, you know, so far this is the best result we've had. You know, it's the least amount of losses, 36 losses. I'm honestly just I'm really impressed with this one here. It's a free-to-play option, guys. It really is. It's a free-to-play option. Now, let me quickly have a look, by the way, at the shield. So as you can see, that shield coming in, the damage suffered, it's both just crazy. Honestly, it's amazing. So we don't need to do 2 sets of testing with this. We already know that this is going to be a very good option. Now, finally, we want to do a test now between these two. We want to see if these two are as good as the Nagarani and Silver, and we're going to do 2 tests of these just to make sure we've got a bit of a more accurate results. So guys, here we have it. We're going to do the final test right now, and here we have the old school combo with the new school. So we've got Witcher with Silver Fox, and we're going to kind of see just how well they do together. I don't know if they're going to do as well as Silver Fox and Nagarani, but we shall see. And we will do, obviously, 2 of these tests, and we're going to speed run through both of them, and we'll look at the results at the end of it. So guys, there it is. The result is in, and honestly, I'm confident we don't need to do a second run of this, but there is another combination we do want to test out. But with that being said, it definitely survived a lot longer than I suspected. But at the same time, obviously, we did end up coming victorious throughout this fight. So the combination I actually want to test out, guys, if having Nagarani and Fleeting Arrow, okay, how good of a combination that is. And let's just say you already have this pairing. Is it worth upgrading from Nagarani to Silver Fox? Because yes, if you are using Witcher, 1,000,000,000%, the new guy is absolutely insane. But how much better than Nagarani is he? Because if he's basically just as good as Nagarani in this situation, is it worth spending all those statues just for someone who's maybe even just a little bit better? Maybe, maybe not. So let's jump in and see how this goes. So guys, we're going to be doing one final test here to just see if it is worth to upgrade the two. Now, as I said, we're going to be doing the test here for Nagarani and Fleeting Arrow. Is it worth replacing Nagarani? Obviously, I do assume it's going to be better, but just how better? Is it to the point where you need to get this new Silver Fox? Or do you think it's, you know, save 720 statues, keep using Nagarani for now? Because you never know. At the end of the day, it might just not be worth 720 statues. And that 720 statues could go to somewhere else in your setup. So we're going to go through, let's speed run it and see the results at the end. So here we are, guys. We're going to look at the battle report now. So the battle report has come in 36 again, almost identical, guys. So here we can see the report from Fleeting Arrow and from Silver Fox. They had 32.9 and 22.9. And if we have a look over here, we got 32.7 and 4.86. So again, maybe the attacks coming in from what's his name didn't hit as many criticals as they did over here, but as we can see, guys, honestly, it's exactly the same results. And in my personal opinion, again, I might be wrong, maybe someone can let me know down in the comments who is a fighter main, you know, they're complete air mains, they understand everything here. But from the testings here, it does kind of seem to me, again, it could be down to the actual criticals. You just cannot tell when it comes to crit hit, you know, if they're going off every time or not. But with that being said, from the testing, it does genuinely seem that Silver Fox is definitely good, okay? And if Witcher is your main unit, let's just say you do not have an exclusive lounge officer like Fleeting Arrow, yes, you need to get the new Silver Fox. He is absolutely insane. But if you do have an exclusive lounge like Fleeting Arrow, then Nagarani is going to be perfectly fine. If you don't have Nagarani, yes, go for Silver Fox. But overall, guys, the conclusion is yes, Silver Fox is absolutely amazing. He is so OP compared to the Witcher. He's better than Nagarani, but Nagarani is really good still. So do you want to spend 720 statues if you already have an exclusive lounge officer? Maybe not. But if you do not have an exclusive lounge officer, you want to get this officer, guys. He's absolutely amazing. Guys, I hope this video helped you. I know it was a bit of a longer one, but I hope you enjoyed these testing videos. Again, let me know down in the comments if there is any tests you want to see done. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.